I will most likely be breaking this down into a couple different videos. And I'm going to try and get a little better with the zooming in and zooming out. Great job on the blind cross here, all the way over before the dogs take off. Very nicely done. We do get a knocked bar here as you suddenly crowd the dog. Very interesting. So the dog's coming this way, and then you're kind of curling into the dog, and you get very close to the jump. So sometimes the dog is going to anticipate that you're going to be in the landing space here. I'm not sure what maneuver we're doing here. Okay, so in my opinion, yeah, it's almost like you're doing some kind of shaping. You're coming in close this way. I prefer to blast down and then slow down in this area here because I'm not really caring about the turn here at this jump. I feel like that probably contributed to the knock bar. Here you're still moving backwards. See this left foot? Right, so everything about your body, I do understand that you're facing this way, but you're going this way. So if I just, I guess turning into the dog really doesn't help. So here you're already turned into the dog, your upper body is overly rotated. With time, the dog will learn to ignore this, which is bad, right? Yeah, so, we just have very solid movement in this direction from the handler. So you're going to go wide even on a spin. So in a sense, that kind of kills a little bit of your decel. Okay, this. Yeah, and then you lose the ability to come behind. So this with the arm, I don't know what that is. If the dog's supposed to go here, looks like back toward the weaves. So again, instead of dribbling out and being slow in through here, what I actually do with dogs who are bad jumpers is speed up to show a dramatic slowdown rather than going a slower speed. So if here, let's say I'm going 40 miles an hour, up here I want to go like 60, and then I want to slow down to 20 instead of being like 40 the whole way. You see, this way we get a big contrast right in here that can control the turn. Hopefully there's a jump right there. So that's kind of our strategy. When you move at a constant medium speed, the dog doesn't really see any contrast between acceleration and deceleration. Here again, early arm up, early upper rotation, no effect on the dog's launch. Dog's going to launch an extension. So I think that should give you some indication that if that's how the dog responds, and in this case it's how we want the dog to respond, right? We're doing a throttle cue here. That means on other spots where you kind of delay this front cross, you turn early, you rotate toward the dog early, you're throwing your upper body against them, but you keep drifting forward, the dog is going to follow that motion, just like this cue, right? And they're also going to be suspicious that maybe they should be looking for a throttle. So here I like how you ran out the course there. Let's take a look at standard. Running through on the A-frame. So again, here we have another control stop. And I would like to see you stop. As the dog gets ready to take off, you're still just, you're moving just a little bit. I would actually like to see you move against the dog entirely. I don't love the spin to get here because I feel like the spin should be off of the tunnel entirely. That's what I would preserve the spin in that spot for. Here you have to move sooner, but I'm not sure that would have helped. Let's see if you had any comments in here. Late call out of the tunnel, you hung on too long. Okay, so that's good. We're seeing the same things here. Beautiful decel here. I think this is good. Remember on the other course, there was a pullback to the weaves, and you handled this one much better. Here it's the dog walk instead of the weaves, but it's the same thing. You're going to decel and then go, not throw up your opposite arm. Beautiful work here. Good decel, a little wide. Okay, Yeah, given that the weaves are next, I guess you could decel a little more firmly and kill all your forward motion here. Um, I guess I'd rather see you do a Yako, a J turn. We definitely have to not front cross like this. You can see that the dog just parallels the body. Like if we draw little tick marks for your feet, look, you're starting right here. You end up over here. So basically you're going from here to here, right? So if we look at this line from here to here and we look at the dog, right? Now the dog lands and perfectly parallels you until he turns this way. So that's what I want you to always be conscious of, like where the dog is going to parallel you. Too far behind, yeah. And then here, in general, you want to not do stuff like this. But I think it's okay. It's just that sometimes the dogs are going to inappropriately turn away from you when they might read some pressure. So there are other times you take converging lines and then the dog, instead of, allowing the convergence, they move away, especially if there's an off-course trap. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here.